I've gotten nearly 300,000 streams in my first 5 months of using Meta Ads. And from experience, I'm just kind of here to explain to you that they're not as scary as you think they are, and they are much more obtainable than you think they are. First off, they are not a waste of money. You have to understand that it's not a short-term thing, it's a long-term investment, because your ROI is streams, and eventually your ROI is followers and fans and opportunities that open up you never would have thought of. And eventually, as you get more and more popular, you finally get revenue in the form of gigs and licensing and maybe even streams. And if you're anything like me when I was starting out, you may be thinking, I can just use playlisting. I can get a ton of plays for free with playlisting. And yes, that is true. You can do playlisting, you should do playlisting, but you should only do it in tangent with ads. And let me show you a very personal current example of why this is. My latest song is currently at the top of 3 massive Spotify playlists, as you can see here, but I didn't use any ads, kind of as a test, and the results have been extremely underwhelming. In its first 6 days, it's gotten 1,200 streams and only 37 saves, which is like a 3% save rate. But if you compare it to a song that I used only ads for and absolutely no playlisting, its first 6 days look like this: 497 saves to 2,500 streams. So almost 10 times better than the playlisting method. And notice it's not just the saves that are higher, it's the playlist ads, the streams per listener ratio, the listeners. I mean, everything is so much higher. It follows the trend that listeners who come from ads engage at a much higher rate than listeners who come from playlisting. Playlisting gets you pops of streams, yes, and it boosts your monthly listeners for a little bit, but long term it could actually be hurting you because it's affecting your algorithmic score in a negative way. Which brings me to my final and most important point of why you should be using Meta Ads, and that is the Spotify algorithm. Spotify looks at these key factors over a 28-day period to determine what they call your popularity score, which is basically just like how well your song is doing. And kind of oversimplified, the higher your popularity score, the more your song will be pushed out and for the longer. So a score of 25 would be pushed out for less time and of less factor than a score of like 40. Which means if you really think about it, the answer to getting streams is to get on the algorithm, which you probably have already thought of that. But how do you get on the algorithm? I just told you, it's engaged listeners. And how do you find engaged listeners? Ads. So please, for your own sake, follow or save or do whatever you need to do to see the remaining videos in the series. And I'll do my best. I truly will try to do my best to teach you exactly what you need to know. And reach out if you have any questions. I'm down to help.